Hi guys, welcome to Ketchum's Tarot. Alright, it's all sign read, just general pickup. We're just checking in. We're going to check in on Aries currently. Okay, I should have everything timestamped. And remember, take what resonates, leave the rest. Alright, what do I have for the beautiful sign of Aries? Alright. Okay, what do we have? We've got the Hermit. Laying low, doing some introspection. All right, 2 more, please. We'll take that one. 3 of Wands. All right. 6 of Cups. I feel like you're taking some time for some introspection. You know, maybe getting real with yourself, this Hermit, kind of shutting yourself away. You know, 3 of Wands is all about ships coming in, waiting for something to happen so you can feel your ultimate happiness, especially with that 10 of Cups. I think right now you're focused on something that happened in the past with this 6 of Cups. You know, maybe it was a third-party situation. We're not really quite sure, but I feel like that's the general consensus of what you got going on. So, I feel like maybe that introspection would be good. Give you time to focus on that 3 of Wands. That 3 of Wands has that scope that he's looking through, and he's looking towards the Hermit. So, take that time, you know. Focus on what makes you happy with this 10 of Cups. You know, with this energy being on the bottom of the deck with the 6 of Cups. 3 of Cups being under it, you know, maybe you should focus more on you and not what happened with, and I'm assuming a very not good situationship. All right, let's see, what do we have for Aries? We have Spirit, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. Time to shine. Creates energetic, I can't read, for golden opportunities. So maybe you focus on spirit, healing, and take your time to shine. Focus on what you can create. You know, usually that leads you to your own happiness. So that's what I got for you, you lovely Aries. All right, what do we got for Taurus over here? The Bulls. What do we got for you? That wanted to come out, so we're going to let it. It's the Moon with the Page of Cups. In reverse. All right. One more. That's all I need is one more, please. Yep. Being stubborn. There we go. 8 of Swords. I'm not taking all that, but we will take that into recommendation. 2 of Wands. Ace of Cups. I feel like whoever that's for is pick a direction, but make sure pick a direction to a new beginning, especially when it comes to love. Here with the Moon and the Page of Cups in reverse, and 8 of Swords with the 9 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles on the bottom. I feel like you have fear, like you're in the dark. You have fear over what you can offer or what you're able to offer, and it's leaving you stuck in your head. I feel like, you know, you can go the distance, but everything's kind of slow. Annoying. So I feel like this is more about career. Like, what direction am I enough? Can I do enough? You know, but you're trapped in your own prison of your own making. You know, you got the Knight of Pentacles as the bottom. You feel like everything's kind of slow moving. It's getting there. You're trying to get to that King of Pentacles. You're trying to get abundance and prosperous, and it's just slow moving. So, you know, maybe get out of that unknown or embrace the unknown. You know, you always have something to offer, but don't hold yourself in your own mental prison trying to get there. Okay? What advice do we have for the Taurus? That one wanted to come out, so we'll take it. On target, follow your ideal life path. And on the bottom, self-confidence. See? That's what we're talking about with that Eight of Swords. Be more self-confident. You know, hold yourself to some self-worth. Give yourself some self-love. All right, that's what we have for Taurus. Moving on to Gemini. All right, what do we have for the beautiful Gemini? The lovely creatures of Gemini. I like Geminis. They're interesting creatures. Alright, what do we have for Gemini? Not taking that. Sorry, I was like half the deck. We will take that one. I did flip over. We have the Knight of Wands. With the Ace of Cups. Queen of Wands. And Page of Cups. With the Seven of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. A lot of wands. So, we got the Knight of Wands, Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. I feel like this is telling me, like, you're kind of in that, should I embrace this energy? Should I not? Knight of Wands is very extremely passionate, but, you know, sometimes it kind of fizzles out. Like with this Ace of Cups, you want a new beginning. You want something to change, whether it's in love or something that you're, you know, you have a love for. I think it's more about you trying to find your own passion within yourself with this Queen of Wands, like what you're desiring, you know, but right now you're feeling like you have very little offer. You got the Seven of Wands energy on the back, you know, you're very guarded, you know, you're willing to turn your back on most things, but you're trying, you're struggling, you're getting there, you know. I feel like the other scenario is quite possibly you've been messing with a player. You know, with that Knight of Wands energy, it's kind of in and out, there and back and forth. You want something new. You want something that you can be proud of, and you might be going toward it, but you gotta let go of that guard a little bit. You know, maybe leave that past behind you. All right, your advice is Triple Moon, embracing all aspects of yourself, the divine and the earthly, with perseverance on the bottom, the motivation to keep going despite all odds. I feel like that kind of matches up, you know. Maybe not be so guarded. Stand in your Queen of Wands energy, what you're passionate about. Be a little bit more open and leave the players alone, or don't be a player. That's what I got. Take it or leave it. All right, moving on to Cancer. All right, what do we got for the sign of Cancer? We have for the beautiful Cancers. Right. We got the Queen of Swords. I feel like that one's upside down. Ace of Pentacles. We're going to keep it. We have the Knight of Wands. So we got the Seven of Wands, being guarded. Ten of Wands, the Sun on the back. I feel like this is you setting your boundaries. The Queen of Swords is a boundary setter to me. Like, she's standing in her grace. She has her sword. She's not afraid to cut you down. I'm going to work on that camera angle. Sorry, guys. All right. And I feel like this is you setting your boundaries or your grounds, especially with the Ace of Pentacles here, about, like, what you want to bring into your world. What makes you abundant, and being very clear about that. You know? I also think this is about, like, starting maybe a new job, career path. You know, with the Knight of Wands here is kind of like slowly moving into it, seeing how it maneuvers, what your passions are, kind of what drives you. But with the Seven of Wands, it's also being a little bit maybe grounded to, I wouldn't say grounded, more, that's what I'm looking for, guarded, guarded. And what you do or the choices that you make. You know, I feel like lately it might be burdensome and a lot of effort and energy, but it will bring you happiness. I feel like you just need to plan it out as best as you can. You got the Seven of Swords back there too, but I don't really feel like it's deceiving energy, more like it's planning, plotting, strategizing. Oh, but I feel like you're owning your Queen of Swords energy right now. All right, what advice do we have for Cancerians? All right, it says fire. The element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation. Now on the bottom we have wishes come true, rapid achievement of all your dreams and wishes. So there you go, Cancer. That's what I have for you. All right, on to the lovely Leos. All right, what do we have for the beautiful Leos? All right, that came out fast. Strength. One more, please. All right, Leos, this is interesting. All right, so we got the Strength, Page of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Five of Cups. I feel like the Strength card telling you is that you're trying to find your own strength. With this Page of Pentacles, I normally like Pentacle cards, but I feel like this is just a very slow moving action and kind of where to go type of energy. Like, I'm kind of lost. I'm not really quite sure what I'm doing, where I'm going. You know, I'm trying to stay grounded though, you know, especially with the Devil here. You know, I feel like you've been dealing with a lot of negativity lately, you know, and with the Five of Cups here, it's kind of like maybe reminiscing or staring at the past or what you can't change and not staring at the options that are in front of you. You know, you still have 2 more cups to go through. You know, I don't really feel like this is much of a love read as so much as you're struggling internally with yourself. Okay, but I feel like you're slowly trying to work through it with Eight of Pentacles on the bottom and the Eight of Wands. You know, and sometimes when you start putting that work in, you know, things start moving. But I feel like maybe you have to go through some anxiety with the Nine of Swords here to kind of push through. So, I mean, overall, I feel like you're trying to find your strength. You just have to get through whatever toxicity you're looking at and maybe not focus so much on the past and work ahead. I feel like with this Eight of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands, it's telling you to keep working through it. You know, it will pass. All right, what do we have for the lovely lions of the zodiac? What do we have for them? Ooh, okay. Did I drop one? No, we're good. 2 came out. So dragonfly. You bring light to this world, and we have one enchanted evening, the perfect night. Take it for what it is. And then breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. And I feel like that's what this read's trying to tell you, is maybe let go of some of that toxicity, the negative thinking, the regret, start to work through it. Like, I mean, in the end, you're going to have to work through it, but go through it. Deal with it. Take it head on. All right, moving on to the Virgos. We got the Virgos. Sorry, guys. We're going to cut that energy up a little bit. All right. Poor Leos are going through it over there. All right. What do we have for the Virgos? All right. One more. All right. What do we have for Virgos? All right. What do we have for Virgos? I don't know what that was. 10 of Cups. Focused on your happiness. Temperance. The Tower. And the Queen of Pentacles. I'm not going to keep them, but whoever needs to hear it, I guess my message I got from that was, if you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you know, everything's going to come crashing down, and maybe you should focus a little bit more on yourself. Take that for what it's worth. All right. What do we got for the Virgos? All right. We got the 7 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and the 8 of Wands. With the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles. I like this. A lot of 9s. The bottom. All right. I feel like you're focused on your own happiness, you know, what brings you happiness, and that's what you're working towards. You've got goals in place. You're starting to plant those seeds with that 7 of Pentacles. You're kind of seeing how everything turns and fits together. All right. And it may be like slowly giving to it, but you're still giving to it, you know, with the Page of Cups here. It's an offer all the same. And maybe you feel like it's starting to move. You got the 8 of Wands, so I feel like it's going to start moving faster the more you offer to it. You got the 9 of Wands back here with the 9 of Pentacles. I like this. I feel like he's like, in this picture, he's just kind of forging his own path and focus on his independence, you know. But don't be so far into your head. You know, things are going to move. It's like you're standing your ground on what you're passionate on, you know, and a lot of it I feel like is your own independence, your own worth, your own value. What am I doing? Let's get you an advice card. I like this read. This is a beautiful read. Oh, whatever you're working on, it's a going. Mystic Star, harmony in the home, great friendships with Earth. Ask the element of Earth for grounding, stability, and strength in time of chaos. I feel like that's that 8 of Wands into the 9 of Wands energy over here. All right, love charm. Attract a lover, soulmate, or life partner. I like that. Oh. All right, that's what I got for you, lovely Virgos. We're moving on to Scorpio. Oh, I'm sorry, Libra. I'm about to skip Libra. I'm a Libra rising, and I always forget the Libras. Sorry, guys. All right. All right. have for the lovely Libras? The scales. What do we have for these beautiful Libras? All right. We'll take it. The High Priestess. Focused on your intuitive side with the Chariot. Cancerian energy. All right. 2 more. Thank you. The World. And the Hierophant. Well, you've got some stuff going on, don't you? All right. I feel right now you're trusting your gut. You're kind of flowing with it. You're definitely moving along. You're making things happen, changing things, and just completely having some faith. I feel like you are just in your zone. You are living life, loving life, enjoying life, building life. You know, you're in your beautiful energy. You're focused on your independence. You're strategizing. I feel like this 3 of Swords isn't so much as heartbreak as like just really healing. I mean, you're focused on your coming to peace with things. Oh no, this is a very beautiful energy. So I feel like there's not really much you need to know. Just trust your judgment. Keep moving forward. Know everything's aligning for you, and just have faith. And just focus on your independence and just keep strategizing, planning, building, breaking. I don't feel like you're dealing with anything too horrible. You're not going through anything too horrible. Maybe a little bit of heartbreak for some of you, or there's a situation that set you back with that 3 of Swords. But with the 6 of Swords right behind it, everything will work itself out and you'll be fine. Fire. The element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation. We have love charm again. Attract a lover, soulmate, and a life partner. And that's possibly what you're doing. So you're in that element of fire right now, and you're just kind of rebuilding and trusting yourself. I love it. All right, that's what I got for you, Libra. Sorry, it did come on target. Follow your ideal life path. I love that. That is so awesome. All right, moving on to Scorpios. All right, what do we got for the beautiful Scorpios? My husband's a Scorpio. One of the best men I've ever met. All right, what do we have for the lovely Scorpios? That came out fast. Ooh. Justice popping its head out. Maybe you're working on something being balanced out. We have the Sun card. Well, Scorpios want to talk. I just need the cards to hit the table. Oh no. There we go. All right, King of Swords with the World. The World's coming out a lot. All right, we'll take it. I feel like right now you're focused on your happiness. You know, you're with that King of Swords there, you're kind of in your, I feel like boss mode is what we're doing. You know, normally the King of Pentacles I feel more is like the boss mode, but the King of Swords is like putting his foot down. Like, He's just telling you how it is. That World card, I feel like everything is starting to align for you, but you may need to pay attention to conflict or how to resolve conflict with this Five of Swords and Death pulling out at the same time. Oh, I feel like also right now is like with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands is that you have maybe a little bit to offer people, but not so much. You definitely are giving a little, but you're also not really taking a little. It's kind of how I feel. Take it how it resonates, but you're focused on your happiness. You're focused on drawing a line in the sand, what you're good with, what you're not good with. Especially with that Five of Swords, like maybe changing the way you deal with conflict or how you deal with it. I feel like it's this Knight of Cups and this Knight of Pentacles back here. It's kind of like giving give and take energy. Take it how it resonates. That came flying. What is this? Achievement. Win the award, accolade, or contract. Wishes come true. Rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. And that's kind of what I felt like it was. The more you kind of give and take, watch how you treat conflict, and then, like, set your boundaries. Set a clear line. This is what you expect. You know, but keep focusing on that happiness. All right, that's what I got for you, Scorpios. Love that energy. All right, on to the Sagittarius. All right, what do we got for the beautiful Saggies out here? I'm trying to get this wrapped up soon a little bit. I gotta go to the store. All right. What do we have for Sag? We got the Nine of Swords, maybe being a little stuck in our head. Dealing with some anxiety lately. What do we have for Saggies? There we go, the Eight of Cups. Trying to walk away from something. I feel like Saggies, you're kind of stuck in your head. Maybe you're a little anxious about a situation that you walked away from or somebody walked away from you. Either way, I feel like you're kind of standing your ground and starting to like focus on what drives you, what your passion is. So with the Hierophant and the Temperance in the back, I feel like this is you're focused on some kind of higher power and healing, having the patience to heal. So I feel like you're starting to come out of this anxiousness. You're starting to walk away from it, but you're not quite there because you're still a little guarded. But you're trying to find that passion or that drive with that Queen of Wands. So, but don't get stuck in your head. Like, it's okay to walk away. You know, you just have a little patience, healing, and give yourself some time. Trust whatever the situation is, it will pass. So you got the Magician popping out. You got every tool in your capable arsenal over here to deal with it. All right, what do we have for the Saggies? There we go. All right, wishes come true. We've seen that a lot. All right, rapid achievement and your dreams and wishes with the elements on the bottom. The elements of fire, air, earth, and water combine to create powerful protective boundaries, spiritual, mental, and physical and emotional. And that's kind of what that Hierophant is. Like, it's there to protect you. Just have some faith. All right, that's what I have for you, Saggies. All right, moving on to the Cappies. All right. What do we have for the Capricorn? All right, what do we have for Capricorn? Oh, that went flying. Two of Wands. Trying to make a choice? I'm hearing crossroads. All right. Stuck in your head about it? All right. Six of Pentacles. All right. I feel like somebody needs to trust the above and new beginnings, whatever that means for whoever needs to hear it. I just need one more card, please, just one. There we go. All right, Five of Wands, the World, and King of Swords, the Happiness. I feel like this is about you picking a direction because you're all stuck in your head about it with this Nine of Swords. Like, where to go? Kind of at a crossroads. I mean, I feel like any direction that you pick is going to be good for you. You know, especially with the Six of Pentacles. You just got to learn where you want to. How much are you willing to give of yourself? You know? And the Five of Wands is usually depicted as like a fighting card. I think this is more like a collaboration or having a community behind you. You know, you're just kind of stuck in that zone of which direction am I going in, and it's honestly just kind of causing a lot of sleepless nights. Okay? But with the World and the King of Swords here, I feel like it's telling you, you know, stay what you want and watch the world work for you. Like, it has its own way of finding the right place, the right time type situation. And then with the Sun card in the back, I think that's where you're going to find your happiness at. But pick a direction. The minute you pick a direction, you're going to lose some of that anxiety, some of that stress that you've been holding on to, you know? And everything just kind of starts balancing out, and you kind of find the right community for you. So that's what I have for you, my lovely Cappies. All right, let's get you an advice card. All right, what do we have for the Cappies? What advice do you have for them? Ooh, that flew out really fast. Successful career, happy working environment, pay raises, and promotions. And I feel like that's kind of what this is about, is, you know, where to put your effort and energy, which direction to move in, especially with the Pentacles here. Okay. Triple spiritual. Listen to the divine wisdom and joyful learning life lessons. And I feel like that's the part about the community that you're going to find yourself in, you know? And when it's time, just speak into fruition with that King of Swords. Like, be honest about what you want. All right, that's what I have for you, Cappies. Now on to the beautiful Aquarius. The lovely water carriers. All right. I've always felt like the Aquarius are the most calmest of the zodiac signs. My son's an Aries, my best friend. My son's an Aries. Sorry, his name is Aries. He's an Aquarius. My best friend is an Aquarius. Those are probably the two calmest people I've ever met in my entire life. Alright, what do we have for beautiful Aquarius? Alright. We have the Ace of Wands, focusing on new beginnings, with the King of Pentacles. Seen the Nine of Cups a lot today. And the Death. Alright. Five of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Alright. I feel like you're focused on some kind of new beginning. You know, something that's going to make you happy. But you're also focused on what's going to bring you stability. You know. If this is a love thing, I feel like you kind of have some offers coming in, not suitable offers. But it's your life, you decide. I feel like it's more about career though. Like you're passionate, you're driven, you're focused on your money, your good foundations. You know, what can I build? This Knight of Cups hearing it's off of like I only have so much to give you right now. Like I only have so much to offer, but I'm still willing. But I feel like with this Death card, maybe like your circumstances are trying to change. Like maybe you're leaving some things out, shutting the door behind, you know, and with this Page of Pentacles, you're just moving into that forward direction. You know, if this is a love read, I don't really see a lot happening besides walking away. But, I mean, as far as career goes, I feel like it's really good. You just got to figure out what needs to change. Like, what can you live without and what can you bring to the table? Insights. Opens the third eye to strengthen intuition. And Earth. Ask the element Earth for grounding, stability, and strength through times of chaos. And I feel like that's kind of what you're going through right now. Like you gotta shut some stuff out in order to let new things in. Okay? And I think if this is a relationship read, like drop the burden. Like you don't need it anymore. You don't have to carry it. It's not yours to carry anymore. Alright? Especially if you were cheated on. But that's what I got for you, Cappies. Take it how it resonates. All right, on to the lovely Pisces. All right, what do we have for the beautiful Pisces? All right. What do we have for Pisces? One more, please. My water is what I should have done. My cards went flying. Alright, what do we have for Pisces? Alright, we have Nine of Cups with, ooh, the Wheel of Fortune. I like that. And the Ace of Swords. This is different from everything else. I love that. All I hear is times are a-changing. All right, my lovely Pisces, you have the Nine of Cups. You're focused on your own dreams, your own happiness, your own ambition. But your problem is you are very unbalanced. All right. With that Two of Pentacles there, you got to find a way to balance it all. Maybe get a little grounded. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune here, things are starting to move your way in your direction. And you're kind of speaking your truth into existence with this Ace of Swords. I feel like with the Hierophant, the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups here, I feel like you're just trusting what's happening, and you're giving yourself a little bit more, and maybe walking away from the things that don't really make you happy anymore. You know, the other way I can see this is maybe with that Nine of Cups, I feel like the other message that needs to get, like, if you are overindulging into something, it does cause you to lose your balance a lot with that Two of Pentacles. And Two of Pentacles are about balance. You know, he's on a unicycle over here. Not a unicycle. One of those, I don't even know what those are called. But the bicycle with the little wheel. And you got a little affinity sign. It's about having some control in your life. You know? And with the Wheel of Fortune, like, the world's not going to stop for you. You need to turn. You need to move. You need to do things. You need to grow. And maybe be honest with yourself with that Ace of Swords. You know? And I feel like with the Hierophant being here on the bottom is you need to have a little bit more trust. So, but that's what I have for you. My lovely Pisces, feeling the good energy, living life, getting their wishes fulfilled. Just find a way to balance it all out, okay? Because, I mean, it's a coming. Just speak it into fruition. All right. What advice do we have for the lovely Pisces? Little luxuries. Generates luxuries, experiences, and surroundings. Okay. Insight. Open the third eye to strengthen intuition. I feel like maybe we need one more. Cleanse, purify, and protect the physical body. That's what I was saying about the overindulgence. But the rest of it, I feel like this is about you kind of living your best life right now. All right, guys, that's what I have for you. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Oh, if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Have a good day.